Peter Glidden. This is another edition of Fire Your MD Now. The call-in number for today is 866-582-9933. We're going to be taking calls in the last half of the program because in the first half of the program we have a special guest. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesday I like to talk about money, baby. Show me the money. There are two things that we are up to in this arena. Number one, pulling back the curtain on the egregious failures of conventional American medicine. Number one. Number two, showing people what they can do to help themselves recover their health instead of going to the MD. So we show people the reality of medicine as it's practiced here, uncover the unbelievable failures and the built-in systemic flaws to modern American medicine, and then we take it one step further and show folks what they can do right now with science-based, clinically verified, safe and effective medical nutrition. Stuff that you can do right now to recover your health instead of going to your MD, which would lead then any sane person to fire your MD now, right? Hence the name of the show. So that's the first thing that we do, is we're all about health here. But what we're also about is about wealth. Because everybody in this country, especially now, well, not the 1%, but the 99%, are vitamin M deficient to different degrees. That's right, money. And Dr. Wallach, the founder of the Longevity Company, in his wisdom, set longevity up as a networked business, and he did that on purpose. It's a networked, an intentional networked business. He did that because we are building a grassroots coalition of the informed, an army of sorts, to help us spread this message of health recovery through medical nutrition as far as is humanly possible, as quickly as humanly possible. And guess what? Armies need to be paid. So we have the Longevity Company has a really great business model set up to help you get over your vitamin M deficiency, put more money in your pocket while you're helping your friends and family members and church members to recover their health. Why? Because they need your help. Why? Because the MDs have let them down. Why? Because the pharmaceutical industry controls medicine. Your doctor can be sincerely incorrect. Now look, if you're happy with health care, well, then remember, MDs don't practice health care. It's disease management. If you're happy with taking your horse hormone and your rat poison, if you're happy with the 3 fake knees, if you're happy with the status quo of your life, God bless you. It's a free country. But if you know that there must be a better way, if you know that there must be a better way, well, guess what? You have found it. So on Tuesdays, I like to take a break from the health stuff for just a minute and talk about the money stuff, the wealth stuff. And towards that end, we have a very special guest. Mike Randolph is with us this afternoon. Mike Randolph is corporate vice president of the Longevity Company. He has a long history with network marketing, a long history with helping people see the wisdom of how to make money easily and quickly. Mike Randolph, it's always a pleasure. Welcome back.
Thanks a lot, Doc. And you know what? It is a pleasure for me to be here. I love listening to your little rants before you bring anybody on the call. I'm sitting here making notes. You got some awesome stuff to say.
Well, you know, all we do here is tell the truth, and it's a sad state of affairs, the point that we have come to in this country. Everybody is sick in this country. Everybody is sick. Throw a stick. Who's sick? Everybody's sick, man. Throw a stick. Because this is what happens, you know, when a monopoly is present to a really large degree, and medicine's been monopolized here for the last 100 years, and because it's a monopoly, even when they screw up, even when they deliver therapies that don't help us, even when they deliver therapies that harm us, and then even when they deliver therapeutics that kill us, there's nothing we can do. And they've instituted such a fantastic PR program that they have convinced us beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are the only people worthy of our attention when it comes to anything medical. So really, from a business point of view, and this is always, you know, I think something unique that I bring to the table here in my perspective on this. From a business point of view, this is a no-brainer, because who needs the help of a longevity member? Who is the customer of the longevity member, everybody is a longevity customer, because everybody's health is in the gutter because everybody goes to the MD. And, on the one hand, it's a travesty, and from a business point of view, it is an unbelievable opportunity now. So towards that end, what I'd like to talk about today is, longevity is a network marketing company. And network marketing companies all have something called compensation plans. It's the business structure that the company sets up in order to pay their distributors. I'd like you to tell us how longevity's compensation plan is different from everybody else's.
Well, there's a lot of differences, Doc, and I'm going to back up just a little bit. You made some really key points about people being brainwashed with regards to their health, but you know what? We're also brainwashed with regards to our wealth. We think that the only system that works out there is the corporate America, go get a job and punch a clock, or go get a job and not punch a clock and, work on a salary, where you're trading time for money, and it's just as bad a fallacy as relying on the medical system. And, if you're going to look at an entrepreneurial endeavor, that's kind of a fancy way of saying if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, talk to Dr. Glidden. But if you're also tired of being sick and tired and broke, that's what I'm here for. If you're going to go into business for yourself, and by the way, statistics show that in the next 36 months, Doc, in the next 36 months, 2/3 of all American households will be involved in a home-based business. The question I have for our listeners today is, are people going to get involved in a good business or a not-so-good business? And the difference can be in the details. Now, let's assume that you're looking at a business that has wonderful products, the way longevity does. I don't need to talk about that. But there's some other things you need to look at. You need to look at, what are your startup expenses? What is the training system in place that's going to get you productive? What is the upfront compensation looking like? In other words, what can you pay your bills with today? What kind of income can you expect reasonably quickly? What are the long-term compensation advantages? In other words, you don't want to bust it every day forever. What am I going to be able to do in the future when I want to use that magic word called retire and start doing everything that I want to do? And you know what? There's one that a lot of us don't think of. What are your ongoing expenses? So if you look at longevity from those 5 different points of view, you're going to see that we've really stacked the deck for us, for you, and against everyone else, because our startup expenses to be in business range from $10 to $399. And it really just depends how much of the comp plan do you want to take advantage of, how quickly. In other words, how much training do you want to get? How quickly do you want to get off to a fast start? Our upfront compensation plan is second to none. There are bonuses in place where as you start to build your business, as your organization begins to grow, you're going to get paid bonuses for bringing folks to the table that are bringing more customers to the table. The bottom line, Doc, we make money when people purchase product. Well, we've got the greatest product, so now we just need to go out and find some great business builders. And rather than spend millions and millions of dollars on advertising, we'd rather pay you to go out there and just spread the word and share a simple story that we call 90 for Life. Share that story. Instead of paying advertisers, we're going to pay you. Those millions and millions of dollars get put in your pocket as bonuses. And then over the long haul, eventually, you know what, we say that you're going to get overpaid later on, because as your business grows, you're leveraging more and more and more and more customers that are coming into your business. With a handful of folks that report directly to you, you can literally touch hundreds of thousands of people. And, Doc, people think that that's crazy. That can't work. How can that be right? Well, you know what? How many millions of people does Tiger Woods touch? Every time somebody buys a pair of sneakers or a shirt that happens to have the right logo on it or his name on it, trust me, he's leveraging millions and millions of people. We're just teaching everyday people like you and me how to do exactly the same thing. What really differentiates longevity is we have a super strong upfront compensation plan. We've got a super strong long-term residual compensation plan. And one of the most unique parts of our business is we don't straddle you with these horrendous ongoing monthly commitments that choke your business whether you're making money or not. In other words, Doc, if you're not making a bunch of money this month, you're not going to have a lot of expenses this month. If you're making a bunch of money, you know what? You're still not going to have a lot of expenses, but your expenses may go up just a tad.
You know, I love that about longevity, Mike. I love that about longevity. Here's the deal, folks. If you don't have any experience with a network marketing business strategy, well, here's the deal. In order for you to be paid from the people that you bring into the organization, this is with any network marketing company, you yourself have to purchase a certain amount of product every month, right? You could be in line to be paid $5,000 in the month of October, but if you didn't purchase, your $500 piece, then you're not going to get that check from the company. That's just how network marketing companies are set up. But the beautiful thing, at least from my point of view, about longevity is the amount of money that you yourself need to pay every month is optional. In the beginning, as you're building your business, if it does not profit you to purchase the amount of product that you need to qualify to be paid. So if you have to buy $200 worth of product in order to make a $150 check, that doesn't make sense unless you really like the product. Well, guess what? Longevity doesn't require you to do that. They're not going to kick you out of the company. You don't have to buy anything that month. Just keep building your business until it profits you to buy product to qualify to be paid. You don't have to load your garage with thousands of dollars of stuff that you're not going to use and you're buying it just because the company says you have to. There's a ton of flexibility. The company pays you first and then the company second. It's a great opportunity. We're going to get into it in a little more detail. We're talking to Mike Randolph, who is the Vice President of Leadership Development with the Longevity Company. Now, folks, I have a request for today and today only. Well, it's going to be Tuesdays from now on. We get health testimonials all the time. I want a wealth testimonial. If you're a longevity member and you're listening to this radio show, give us a call, 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. I want a money testimonial so the people in the listening audience don't think this is hocus pocus. I need to ground this conversation in dollars and cents reality. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is not easy money. This is not an overnight sensation. This is not a pipe dream. What this is a very sound, solid, perfected business structure with hardly any startup costs and hardly any overhead. You really have to be a knucklehead to mess this type of a business up. And you know what? It's not for everybody. It's not. It's not for everybody. But if it's for you, it's fantastic. And you're not going to know if it's for you until you take a look at it. Now, this is why we recommend you come to the webinars. Having a webinar tonight, by the way, an Introduction to Longevity webinar. And I'm going to let you have free access to my webinar tonight by going to fireyourmdnow.com. It's going to be right there on the front page. It starts at 8 o'clock Central Time. Free access to my Introduction to Longevity webinar. Normally it's $17 a month to have access to this. Today I'm offering it to you for free. Go to fireyourmdnow.com a little before 8 o'clock Central Time. Click on the webinar link and follow the instructions. I'll look forward to seeing you there. Now, Mike, you've been involved with network marketing for how many years?
Going on, you know what? It'll be 21 years in February.
Wow, so our careers parallel each other. You've been doing this as long as I've been doing the medical stuff. And tell me, really, no hype. No hyperbole, just real, down-to-earth dollars and cents. What type of money have you seen people make, and what type of money do, normal people make? Because every industry has superstars, right? But what can a longevity person realistically expect to be earning for income in 12 months?
In 12 months, again, Doc, it's going to depend upon your work ethic. It depends on how much effort you're willing to put into your business. And we're not talking about stacking paper clips and attending webinars and listening to conference calls, but real live work, going out there to gather customers. That is what business is all about. I mean, if you're a landscaper and you just sit there and you wait for the phone to ring next to your lawnmower, you're probably not going to do real well. Well, this business is not much different. We've got a great story, but you have to go out there and spread the word. And if you go out and you put a decent effort of, 5 to 10 hours a week, but you really are focused, you could be making $1,000, $2,000 a month within 2 or 3 months easily. At the end of 12 months, you could be into heavy 5 figures on a monthly basis, but you've got to put that kind of work into it. There's a lot of misnomers out there about network marketing. You already hit on a couple of them. There are companies out there that they choose to sell product to their distributors instead of selling product to customers. We choose to sell product to customers. That's who we want. We want consumers of the product. We don't want products stacking up in people's garages, and we don't want to see our products at garage sales and crazy places like that. We actually prefer that if you get a new customer, you send them to your website and they purchase products, and it gets shipped directly from the company right to your customer rather than you getting in the product distribution business. Some of the other misnomers out there is that all you have to do is join the organization and the roasted doves will come flying into your mouth. Well, that's not going to happen either. That doesn't happen either. We do call it network marketing for a reason. There's work involved. I don't know anyone that's made millions of dollars in this business or any other that didn't put some effort into it. So I've seen people go and have 4, 5, 10, 15-year careers and not really make any money at all. But I've seen people go in 16 to 18 months and making well over $100,000 per year. It really
it's kind of like
on the individual.
Yeah, it's like a slice of life, right? I mean, this is really the network marketing longevity culture. It's just a slice of life. There's going to be some people that succeed in it. There's going to be some people that muddle along at it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you can pass the driver's license test, you can be successful at longevity, because all we do is tell people the truth and help them to get healthy. But first, I'd like to bring Drew on the line. Drew, Mike Randolph and I are going to tag team your phone call to see if we can't answer your questions about how to get started with longevity. Drew, you are live with Dr. Glidden and Mike Randolph.
Sweet. I definitely have a vitamin M deficiency, and all I do is pretty much yell at people regarding their health and longevity and how they can actually fix their problems instead of medicate themselves to death. And a lot of people actually look at me weird, but then their eyes start to open, and you can kind of see it kind of click in their head how it's kind of logic that they can regrow their body. Well, the point of it is I haven't actually set up a site to start sending people there to buy products from you or what have you, and then talk them into becoming a distributor themselves or what have you, getting their own site. But I'd like to start doing that. And I was wanting to know, as far as the best way to go about this, is it just to get the $10 deal, get my own site going, and start talking about it, or what have you?
So have you already signed up and become a member of the company, and you're an active distributor with the company?
I am, but I didn't sign up for the part where I can have my own site and start sending people to my site to sell products. I actually buy the products for people and ship it to their address off of my own site.
Yeah, okay. So you came in at what level? Did you come in at the $10 level, the $90 level, or the $400 level?
Well, see, that's where I'm kind of confused, because I paid $10 to get my own user ID or what have you, and then now they're saying I need to do another 10 to be able to sell product off of my own site. So I'm not sure if that's a different level or what. I thought I was already at that level, but apparently not.
Mike, I'm going to let you handle this one. What do you think?
Well, it sounds to me, Drew, like you're already an independent marketing director. There shouldn't be any need for you to pay a $10 fee and then again pay another $10 fee. So I have a feeling there's just some confusion there. what I'd like to do is get some more specific information from you offline so that we can look you up in the computer. Everyone, when you join, everyone gets a basic website that you can use to build your business. That website includes a retail shopping store. It also includes a way for you to refer other folks. All they have to do is go to your site, click on the join button. They fill out the basic information there, and they become one of your distributors. The training program is in place. It's second to none. It's so simple. We call it the simple system. You can plug into that immediately in the resource center that's available to you after you log in. So I think that you're already set up. You may just not know the tools that you already have available, but rather than get into personal information on this line, let's just have a sidebar conversation after this segment, and we'll get your personal information. We'll look you up in the system, and we'll let you know exactly where you're at.
And another thing that I would like to say about Longevity is their customer service is really pretty great. And I'll give you that phone number right now. It's 800-982-3189. That's 800-982-3189. And when you're brand new to the business, because this is all about the grassroots coalition, right? Because this is all about networking, because it's all about us helping each other to figure this all out, it becomes itinerant upon the people above you in your network to help you understand how to make it all work. And, you know, it's not hard to figure it out, but it's always easier when someone holds your hand for a little while and shows you the ropes, right? I mean, it's always easier. Even the cops do that. You got to have someone show you the ropes. So probably a good place for you to start would be to get in touch with Longevity. Call customer service, give them your name, your phone number, or your customer ID if you know it, and have them tell you who's in your immediate upline. Who is it in your upline that is, you know, working the business and doing it? And then they'll give you their phone number or their email address, and you get in touch with them in order to get your questions answered. And that's how we do it, you know, because, you know, let's say you really scream with this business and you're just, it's like the perfect fit for you, right? The perfect fit. You're just a natural at it. And in 3 months, you've got 10,000 people in your network. Now, there's no way on God's green earth you can return 10,000 phone calls. You can't do that. There's no way on God's green earth you can return 10,000 emails. You can't do that. Nobody can do that, right? But you can return 5 or 6 phone calls, and you can return 5 or 6 emails. So, you know, the way that this works is we develop leaders underneath us. We develop 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leaders underneath us in the network. You work with your leaders. They work with their leaders. They work with their leaders. And before you know it, life is good. So you want to lean on the upline, Drew. Lean heavily on the upline. And I'll give you that number again. It's 800-982-3189. And the people above you in the network will be able to sort it out for you. Another thing that you can do is, before you hang up, give the producer at the radio show your phone number, your ID number, and Mike and I will source this out after the phone call today and get back to you. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, man. I appreciate your work. I appreciate your, what's the word? Your energy. And I appreciate your open-mindedness here and your willingness to take a step outside of the conventional box that we've all, you know, found ourselves here in to make a difference for yourself, your family, and your community. Now, Mike, you touched on something earlier that I don't want to just gloss over because it's important. You know, we're all about myth-busting here, and I tell people until I'm blue in the face about the medical myths that abound. What about the corporate myths that we've had shoved down our throat for the last 100 years?
Well, you know, there are some significant corporate myths out there that tell us the way we earn a living is by trading our time for money. And I love asking people these questions. You know, one thing that the wealthy, not just in the U.S., but around the world, one thing that the wealthy truly understand is that money is an unlimited resource. I mean, goodness gracious, they just print it as we need it. It's not even, you don't even have to print it anymore, Doc. It's just ones and zeros in a computer someplace. money is an unlimited resource, but we've been taught that it's a limited resource. The resource that's limited is time, but we've been told that time is so worthless that we'll trade it for just a little bit of money. And the wealthy in our country and in the world understand that time is a limited resource, money is an unlimited resource. That's why we can't just grab our cell phone and call Oprah or call Bill Gates, because they have people that they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just to keep other people from wasting their precious time. So we understand that time is what it's all about. So we teach people to leverage efforts, to leverage the time of other people, and to begin to, experience that magic moment when you're starting to realize a small percentage of the efforts of maybe thousands of other people rather than 100% of your own efforts.
Well, you just blew my mind, right? Benjamin Franklin said it best. He said there are few things in life as remarkable as compound interest. Well, I guess another thing as remarkable as that would be building a network business, right?
It's absolutely the same thing, just with people and with money. And, it turns into money, and it's the same compounding effect. The reason Ben Franklin said that is because if you're realizing compound interest, the money you made is making you more money, which is making you more money and even more money. In our business, the folks that you bring into the organization, just 2 getting 2 or 3 getting 3, that compounding effect, you don't have to repeat that cycle too many times before you are realizing leverage over tens, if not hundreds of thousands of other people's efforts. It may be a small percentage, but you know what? I'll take 1% of the efforts of 100 people more than 100% of my own efforts.
Yeah, well, there you go. And this is all about the frame shift. It's all about a perspective shift. It's all about taking the reins of your life into your own hands, learning the simple solutions to health conditions, because healing is easy, folks. It's not complicated. It's easy. So we'll teach you the simple solutions, the simple steps you need to take to make yourself healthy, and then we're going to help you to readjust your frame, readjust your reference about what it actually takes for you to generate money in your life. And there's no glass ceiling here. And Mike, there's one thing that you said a couple of weeks ago that's really stuck in my mind, and maybe we can expand on this for the last 3 minutes of this segment. But when you said this to me, I had an aha moment, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that about you. And this is one of the great things about this type of business, folks, because you get to hang out with people who constantly blow your mind, constantly open your mind up to stuff. It is so much fun. I mean, it is just so much fun. But here's what Mike Randolph said to me a couple of weeks ago, and it blew my mind. You turn on the news, and it's all about the recession. And it's all about we're on the verge of total economic collapse, and what are we going to do? And the gold standard, should we bring it back? And all this fiat currency, and what's going to happen? Lions and tigers and bears. And in the middle of all this doom and gloom, one fact remains outstanding in an unbelievably ironic way. At this moment in time, in this crazy, horrible economy in the United States, there is more money available now than at any time in history. Talk a little bit about that, Mike.
You know what? It's absolutely true. One thing I learned years ago about the stock market, I love it when people say, oh, the stock market lost money today. You know what? The stock market never loses money. People that invest in the stock market may transfer money to other people that invest in the stock market, but for every loser, there's a winner. And when you have a whole bunch of losers on one side of the equation, you've got a handful of really big winners on the other side. The key is in a contrarian attitude, and you and Dr. Wallach have that contrarian attitude. When everybody's running this way, if you want to profit, if you want to do well, you better turn around and run the other way, because most people make decisions emotionally when it comes to money. Most people buy high and sell low, and you want to be the contrarian on the other side of that equation. And everything that we've talked about today, Doc, and you talk about every day, is moving yourself to the other side of the equation, because there is balance. And you know what? You might as well be on the good side and not on the negative side.
And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. There's a health opportunity here, and there's a wealth opportunity here, and they both involve thinking outside of the conventional box. And how's that working for you, by the way? I mean, how's your health? I want you to calculate how much money you've spent on medical insurance to date in your life and see what kind of results all of that investment has gotten you. I want you to take a look at all of the time you've given to your company and see what type of a return on that investment you've gotten. If you're not happy, if you want a different way, you've just found it. Go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the longevity link in the menu bar right there on the front page, and join us. Join us. We need your help, and as God is my witness, you do not know what you're missing. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Randolph was in the house today. Thanks so much, Mike. Jeremy has a question about congestive heart failure. Jeremy, thanks for calling and for waiting. You are live with Dr. Glidden.
Question is I'm 32 years old. I'm pretty athletic, not like crazy, NFL star or anything like that, but just more or less average athletic kind of guy. And out of the blue, I mean, it could be my diet. I don't know exactly because I don't eat the best. But for some reason, like my doctor that I went to, the cardiologist, said I had an enlarged heart and congestive heart failure, and it gave me atrial fibrillation, which is irregular heartbeat. You know that, I'm sure. But any suggestions? Because I'm on 3 different pills, which is amiodarone, carvedilol, and lisinopril is what I'm on.
Yeah, well, you got to have good insurance, right? They saw you coming in. This is an interesting thing to talk about because before World War II, in Germany, there was a condition called athlete's heart. And it was a peculiar thing to happen because you would expect athletes, right, people that exercise for a living, to be the healthiest people in the world, and certainly they should have the healthiest hearts in the world. But what they were finding then is what we're finding now, is this condition called athlete's heart, where the heart of athletes, or even weekend warriors, people that just, exercise on a regular basis, their hearts start to enlarge. And there's only one thing that causes that. But the irony here is that your MD is completely blind to this simple fact, because your MD has had no training in medical nutrition, has had no clinical experience with medical nutrition, has no respect nor any appreciation for medical nutrition. And so, ironically, the person that you pay to get access to answer your health questions is clueless about how to help you. I mean, it's just life's greatest irony. Your MD has no idea of this. It's a simple selenium deficiency. Athlete's heart, cardiomyopathy, it's also referred to as cardiomyopathy, is caused by a lack of the mineral selenium. Selenium is a mineral like calcium or magnesium or iron, and when you do not have enough of it in your blood, your heart starts to enlarge. And when your heart starts to enlarge, all these other things come along for the ride, like congestive heart failure and funky, the valves don't close properly because your heart's bigger than it used to be, but the valves don't grow as the heart muscles grow, and so you get all of this backlash of blood, and it's just a mess. And it's just a simple selenium deficiency, man. So, and the reason that it's happened to you is because you exercise, which is, again, one of life's greatest ironies, because I want you to visualize like a tank in your body that needs to be filled to the brim every day with vitamins and minerals. It has to be filled to that brim every day in order for you to be healthy. Well, when you exercise, number one, you can't get all the nutrients that your body needs to keep that tank full, to keep your heart healthy and your liver healthy and everything else healthy, just from eating from the 4 food groups. You can't do it. So everybody's tank is about half empty. Now, when you exercise, you burn through the remnants of what's in your tank. So the more that you exercise without proper nutrition, without proper vitamin supplementation, the greater your chances of developing a chronic illness are, which is one of life's greatest ironies. So what do we do to fix this? Well, we're smart. So we provide your heart with the raw materials that it needs to get healthy again, and it's really pretty simple. So in order to support and promote the health of your heart and your cardiovascular system in the face of an MD diagnosis of congestive heart failure and cardiomyopathy, enlarged heart, here's what we recommend. 1 Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle per month of something called de-stress, that's D like David, stress, de-stress, and 3 bottles of selenium, 3 bottles of ultimate selenium. So that's 3 bottles of ultimate selenium, 1 bottle of de-stress, and 2 Healthy Start Packs per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Do that, and within, I don't know, you're a healthy guy, you're an active guy, within 2 weeks you should start to experience turnaround in this, and within 90 days you should be completely on the other side of the health condition. Give your body what it needs. Stop eating foods that hurt it. Get the heck out of the way, and guess what? Your heart fixes itself, your lungs fix themselves, life is good again. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just wasted another perfectly good hour listening to Dr. Glidden on Fire Your MD Now. I'll see you again tomorrow.